Alrighty guys, hello and welcome back to the show. So I've got a cast coming your way today, going down on Neuroxis map generator. We're going back to our old ways here. The science videos are going to come back. I promise. I've got one in the pipe right now that I'm working on editing. I just switched over to a different editing software. So decided to move over to DaVinci Resolve instead of continuing to sign away my life to Adobe. So still learning that a little bit, and I figured I would just throw a cast out while you guys are waiting on that one, because these are basically just film export. You're good to go. So let's go ahead and introduce our players here real quick. We got Rabid Lenny playing Team 1. He's going to be air, maybe land, kind of up to how people want to say how Team 1 want to divvy this up. I might be playing this far western lane there, or you might be a secondary air player, completely in flux, I think, right now. In the middle position, which is I would almost assuredly assume is going to be air, we have Nightblood. He's going UEF, opening first land, working on that hydro. Down to the south, we have Azuros, who's going Aeon, first land, second air, who is the ringer in this game at 2100 rating. So definitely in that pretty high rating pros category. Super nice dude as well. I've talked with him, played with him a bunch back whenever I was still playing. Next, we've got Gamer9 Triple X, who's also going Aeon, opening first air. Okay, so this might actually be our air player. We'll keep an eye out on that. 1500 rating player. And then last but not least, for team number 1, we have Ilu, who's going Cybran, opening first land. Going to be holding down the kind of eastern side of the map there for team number 1. Shifting over to team number 2, on the eastern side of the map, we have Darth Sand, who's going Aeon, looks to be going land all day. Does not have a hydro, so is having to limp his way a little bit more through that initial energy phase, building Tech 1 P-Gens. His teammates, we have Wekther. I believe everybody in Fight Club just calls him Wek. And he's going Seraphim. He got first land and looks like to be going second air with the hydro adjacency. Moving on to the air guard position, or what I think is the air position, we have Santa Man, another Fight Club representation. Actually, a lot of Fight Club people in this game. We have Santa Man going in the air slot, first land, second air. On the front lines for team number 2, and I think I've been saying team 1 the whole time. Sorry, team 2. We're talking about team 2 now. We got Nyx, who's going first, second land, third air, looks like right now. Similar boat, no hydro in reach for him, so going for a lot of Tech 1 power generators early on. And last but not least, we have Randy Savage, who's going Aeon first and first land, second and third air. With an interesting power grid setup right here. I guess you could put a shield in the middle of that, but that seems to be kind of an interesting template there. Either way, initial air scout out from Santa Man. This is a pretty big map, so it's going to be a little bit before the action kicks off. We do have a drop here coming out of Nightblood, going for one of these initial plateaus. Similar drop out of Azuros, actually. So looks to be one's going for the northern one, one's going for the southern one, which should go to team 2, but I don't see a contesting drop from really anybody on team 2's side. So, well, actually, where did Azuros? Okay, Azuros actually rediverted his drop, and actually Nightblood is going for both of the plateaus. Greedy air player shenanigans there. Put some scouts out from Wek. The other reason I wanted to do a cast is I just got done rebuilding the headlight motors on a project car that I've had for about 10 years now. It was a stupid mistake purchase that I bought in college. Anyway, the headlights, one flips up just fine now, the other does not. And I'm tired of monkeying with things, so I just thought I'd sit back and enjoy kind of a chill game. Nightblood also going for this. Is this a plateau? No, yeah, it is a plateau. It's not a ravine. Hard to tell whenever you're essentially in orbit. So Nightblood getting a lot of the droppable mass, I would say right now. With team 2 not really looking to contest. Got a little bit of bomber harass as well out from Azuros. Going to bag himself some of Wek's engineers. Wek going into the water. Little bit behind Azuros, though. Azuros already got that frigate out. That's going to make naval contestation somewhat difficult here for WEC. Did go for an early torpedo launcher, so that's actually going to help quite a bit as far as securing at least his initial naval presence. We'll see how WEC and Azuros stack up a little bit later in the final stages of the game. Or not final stages of the game, but later stages of the game. And Bomber is still doing some damage. 3 kills on it so far. I think those are all engineers. And WEC kind of going entirely with his commander. And now Azuros retasked the Bomber to go after this torpedo launcher. You'd think that there would be interceptors out right now from Team 2. This Bomber is getting just way too much airtime here. Torpedo launcher has engaged the frigate. We'll see if that torpedo launcher is able to take the frigate out. I think it should be able to take... Well, it'll take the first one out. It probably won't be able to take the second one out. So WEC finds himself in a really, really rough position here in the Navy. Okay, finally we do have an interceptor coming out. On that Bomber. We'll probably save this torpedo launcher, which is quite good because WEC needs that torpedo launcher to exist. But actually that frigate is going to take it down. Okay, so now we have a second frigate showing up for Azuros. So WEC in some pretty deep trouble right now in the Navy. More frigates and a sub showing up as well. WEC is, I think, pretty much done on the Navy at this point. A little bit too far behind the 8 ball here. Azuros able to get critical mass before WEC can even really breathe, which is, you know, kind of what you'd expect, stacking up a 1400 versus a 2100 in a, you know, in a particular lane like that. So hopefully Team 2 have a idea to counter that and are winning some additional lanes. And we do have Darth Sand over here starting to slug it out with Gamer 9 XXX. Both these guys with vanilla commanders, both of them playing Aeon as well. And Darth Sand taking the worst part of that engagement there. It is a little bit of a 2v1 for him because, well, I'm not sure actually. Oh, okay. So Azuros is the Navy player. And then we do have Gamer 9 that has moved over here, and he's now supporting his 900 rated player in Alu, whereas on Team 2, the player that would be supporting Darth Sand, WEC, is actually played for Navy and lost. So that's why Darth Sand is in kind of a weird 2v1 scenario right now, which is definitely not ideal. And seems to be losing as well. So things not going super well for Team 2 right now, just kind of across the board. Kicked out of Navy. Their eastern lane is crumbling pretty quickly as Darth Sand just getting outmaneuvered. His comm can't be in enough places at the same time. Lost a lot of his T1 army. There's a nice little run by here from Alu. It's going to bag a hydro power plant. Darth Sand having, again, trouble getting his feet under him. And WEC now getting assaulted by submarines and needs to be careful coming out of the water as well. Hopefully does he have overcharge? Okay, so he does have overcharge. So he should be able to overcharge down these frigates and get himself out of too much trouble, but the comm does not seem to want to come out of the water. Torpedo bombers as well out from WEC. Okay, so cleaning out the submarines actually with torpedo bombers, so he might not take his comm out of the water and is instead going to clean these out with torpedo bombers. Attack boats now coming in as well for Azuros. So the attack boats are the Tech 1 anti-air for the Aeon Navy. And WEC now does come out of the water. Starts trying to overcharge down these boats. Does grab one of them, but is taking a lot of damage from those frigates. And I think WEC is going down here. 9 minutes into the game, first player ejected there for Team 2. And if you're Team 2, your ratings are 600 or 1600 on the high side for Nyx, and then 1000 on the low side there for Randy Savage. So WEC sitting right there in the middle at 1400. along with Sano and Darth Sand. So an important player to eliminate, but not the be-all end-all. And because this is full share, this economy does in fact transition over to the highest rated player there for Team 2, Nyx. So Nyx is, I'm sure, going to be able to make some good use of that. But that's going to be a naval lock there for Team 1. Azuros doing a fantastic job of securing the Navy there for his team and making it very difficult for Team 2 to really do anything in the water. Gun speed now on the way for Darth Sand to try and respond to the 2v1 he seems to find himself in. At least on the bright side, he's got himself a little bit of a choke point here, so it's going to be more difficult for the two players to outmaneuver him. They're going to have to kind of take him head on. Going to make it a little bit easier for him to defend, drop some point defense. He does have some good reclaim he can take advantage of as well. And then going for gun range immediately after that, so going full Aeon Battlecom. Eastern side of the map has been pretty quiet. Randy Savage does have gun speed and range on his commander. We do have a Tech 3 land factory out here from Nyx. Jeez, that was fast. 11 minutes into the game. Already got Tech 3 land on the field. Might even be... Is that ahead of the air players getting Tech 3? No, it's not ahead of the air players getting Tech 3. Should have known better. Santa Man knows what he's doing whenever it comes to air. And now that Darth Sand has that gun upgrade, going to be able to deal with this Tech 1 spam quite a bit easier. Would love to see him get some engineers, though, out and start getting a lot of this reclaim that actually Gamer9 is currently trying to do. But his engineers are running into a lot of Tech 1 tanks out of Darth Sand there. Gun range now on the way for Azuros as well. And big drop. Well, not big drop, but a drop from Nyx. Looks like we've got a bunch of bricks making it across the channel here, and one just straight up walking. So Nyx really looking to use that early Tech 3 advantage. I don't think we've got Tech 3 really on the field for anybody else, but dropping it straight into Azuros' base with deceivers, so that would be why it doesn't show up on radar. 2 more transports, 2 more bricks. We'll see if they make it down. They will. Those bricks are going to cause some pretty big problems here in Azuros' base. 2 mechs is already down. Nightblood trying to hunt them down. Does get an overcharge out. Doesn't look like he has enough energy to completely delete the bricks right off the bat. And at this point, I think you need gunships or something, because that comm is not going to be able to catch the bricks. We have another break down here that is causing some similar issues, but Azuros is going to lose some of these mexes that he's been benefiting from for quite a while there. On the other side of the map, do need to shift attention here as Darth Sand has moved in and cleared out a fire base here for Gamer9. Gamer9 going for... not going for a gun upgrade, which is I think the first time I've seen that in a long time. Since I came back to casting, seems like every single commander goes for gun upgrade now. Gamer9 going for Tech 2 instead. So very vulnerable here to Darth Sand's commander. Darth Sand, though, needs to be... Keep in mind that there are Tech 2 units that are going to come out behind him, and is looking like he's just going to refocus on taking down these the forward manufacturing here. Which is good. There's a good amount of mass here invested in these Tech 2 factories that Gamer9 not going to want to lose. Tech 3 land as well out from Ilu. We have a brick that is making its way downtown towards the front line. Speaking of bricks, over in the northern side, these bricks still ravaging their way through Team 1's base. Bagged several mexes before finally being brought down by Nightblood building a wall of Tech 1 point defense. So I'd call that a good exchange there. A couple of bricks, and now Team 2 seem to have found their sea legs a little bit. Well, found their sea legs. They can't get into the sea, but you know, they can stand up now. They're not getting beat everywhere all the time anymore. Got another brick causing problems here for the forward manufacturing. Corsairs having to be dispatched to respond to it. So it does look like Rabid Lenny has kind of gone into more of a, well, kind of a support hybrid Tech 2 everything role, as he's got Tech 2 land, or I think this is actually going to Tech 3 land right now. Yeah, so Tech 3 land and then Tech 2 air. Not a lot of units out from Rabid Lenny yet, but does have the technology to do some damage should he choose to. Another little raiding party here from Gamer9 running into a bunch of Obsidians. Blazes do not fare well against Obsidians, but they can, in fact, run away, which is what they're going to do. Darth Sand trying to get that Hydro back up. It is not going to be able to do it. And Darth Sand picking a fight here. He may not be able to win. He does have overcharge, but energy overflow not looking super great. Taking massive amounts of brick fire. Well, not massive amounts, 3 bricks, but and that's a good amount as he drops into the red at 3k HP. Does get his shield up. Shield is quickly vaporized by the bricks, but it doesn't look like the bricks want to keep pushing this issue any further. Close call there for Darth Sand as he escapes with about 3.5k HP. And control Ks? There's a strat out here somewhere? Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe he control K'd because there's an incursion back here. I'm not 100% sure what that was all about. But yeah, it may have been just because there's other units back here and he felt like his front line was broken and didn't want to deal with it anymore, and so gave up, I guess. Not quite sure what that was about, but Darth Sand out. Base initially went to Nyx. Nyx transferred it over to Randy Savage, who is, I guess, also a frontline player, but playing 2 different sides of the map, so going to be kind of challenging there to have to keep tabs on all of that. Bricks are going to level the forward manufacturing formerly belonging to Darth Sand here. As we just watch the carnage ensue. But Randy Savage needs to get these factories cranking, man. He might not even know. No, he definitely does, because he's evacuating engineers. He might just sack this base, it looks like. So Darth Sand's base transferred and will now be leveled by a ton of bricks. As well as a bouncer. You can't forget the bouncer. So yeah, we've gone from, things have kind of equalized for, well, we've gone from Team 1 are beating Team 2 over the head to, okay, things have kind of equalized here for Team 2, back to Team 1 are now beating Team 2 over the head again. As Darth Sand's base is going to be entirely leveled. Sano brings out some gunships to try and help here. It does look like they were able to take out the AA, so that's going to be very helpful. Air response here from Nightblood to take out these gunships. Sano's air, which is superior in numbers, going to be on close standby here, but Nightblood going to be able to take out 2 of the gunships before having to bug out and make a hasty retreat. 1 gunship still remaining. Sano, second one on the way. I would imagine he's shifted a lot to gunship production here. And Nightblood, I think, might just be a little bit behind in the air because he had to deal with the harass out of Nyx a little bit earlier to take out those mexes. So I guess little bits of harass paying dividends there for Team 2. It's not like they're having a great time right now, as you know, the backline is getting raided. There's Run-bys happening all over the place from both Gamer9 and Ilu. It's taking everything in my being to not say Elu Iluvatar, or Elu Iluvatar, I think it was. I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd, sort of. There was one meme that I saw that was like, how did Sauron get so powerful? And you go back, way back to the beginning where it's Eru Iluvatar, that's right. Eru Iluvatar wanted to play some good music, and Melkor just wanted to play jazz. And then that's how Sauron got so powerful. Those discordant notes, man. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton to say outside of what's already been said. This is not looking great for Team 2, except I'm seeing on the minimap right now, we have a monkey that's now been made by Nyx. It is undetected. This is going to be a shock. 21-minute monkey. That is pretty darn quick. And Team 2 is probably feeling really good about themselves. Nightblood's commander here on the front line goes into panic building. No, not even panic building point defense. He's building a SAM. Nightblood is done. Oh my god, this monkey is gonna... Okay, so Nightblood's out. I'm assuming Nightblood's base is gonna go to Azuros. That's who I would send it to. Talk about a sneaky play. Nyx got that out really quickly. Does have two bases, so that makes sense. Gamer9 already calling GG. As you can see, the run by is still happening down here, taking out Nyx's second base, but I don't think Nyx really cares. He's just microing this monkey, taking out all of Azuros's economy there. I think that's 5 T3 mechs is down for the 2100 rated player. Did inherit the airbase, so that'll be good. But now we have full air superiority there for Team 2. Wow, this game just flipped on its head immediately as gunships from Santaman now storming across, taking out additional mechs on the way. The limited amount of air available to Azuros, he tries to take out a couple of them, but is not going to be able to. Plus, he's got to deal with this monkey that is already bearing down on this second base that he just inherited, not even able to get a great amount of Tech 2 point defense up. Engineers here in the back trying to get more. So monkey starts taking damage, drops into the yellow, but now has a lock on these engineers in point defense. Oh my god. It's an absolute disaster for Team 1. There's now Azuros' second bases, and now we have a Soul Ripper. Adding insult to injury here. There is some AA, but Rabid Lenny not going to be able to escape from this one. Nyx just gets those two bases and is like, screw all y'all, I'm not going to help. I'm going to rush 2 experimentals, and I'm going to win the game. Wow. Absolutely wild. 5 ranks of veterancy on the monkey. 1 rank of vet on the Soul Ripper. Gunships from Sano still bagging mexes left and right. Anything that was missed by the monkey. And they're doing this down, like, mass totals. Well, I guess Team 2 is actually up. Wow, that's surprising. Okay, I thought Team 1 would have been up. right, never mind. I take that back. But the gunships and the monkey are now going to level Gamer 9's base. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I don't think there's a ton that needs to be said. I mean, Azuros has got these missile ships in the harbor. Nyx is able to deal with it, though, with tactical missile defense. So, I mean, if Azuros had more time, he'd get critical mass. But without critical mass, just can't really do a ton. And right now, he has literally no mass. Well, not no mass, but we'll flip this over to mass income, because apparently you guys don't like it whenever I leave it on mass totals. Azuros still has 100 mass income. Ilu at 168 is now kind of the chip leader, quote unquote, but is about to have to deal with everything else coming his way. And Gamer 9 still with mexes, but only on 3 mass income because he has no energy. Gamer 9 is done in this game. Where's his commander even at? And there's the Galactic Colossus. All right, so this really turned upside down quickly for Team 1. In the span of 4 minutes, Team 2 has basically cleaned out the entire northern side of the map. And the monkey now bearing down on Ilu's base. Ilu's commander will not survive for long enough, so long as Nyx decides he wants to target it, which he will. Gonna take out the commander. Then deal with all the point defense. The nasty, annoying little point defense. Azuros calls GG, as there is... Oh no, that's the original Soul Ripper. I think Team 1 gonna bow out. Boy, that turned upside down quickly. And I'm sure Gamer 9 is gonna bow out as well. Gamer 9 lamenting the fact that he even started this game. Azuros saying that you have nothing better to do. Smiley face. That's probably a good way to end this game, is there's nothing better to do. Smiley face. So, shorter one for y'all today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.